Hey everyone, and welcome to the end of the week results show for week 4 of season 2 of Fat Lad Ad to Fit Lad Ad. My name is Ad, and I'm on my way from Fat Lad Ad to Fit Lad Ad by way of diet and exercise and telling anybody who will listen to me about it on YouTube. Actually, in all seriousness, YouTube is helping me keep accountable to myself as well as my friends and my family, as well as new friends who I've just found on YouTube. And so far, the results I've had have been way better than my expectations, as in just over 5 months, I've lost just over 3 stone. Every Friday, I present the results of this week in my journey so far, which includes an update on the goals I've set myself for this season, a summary of the calories I've consumed as well as burnt through exercise, and that all-important weigh-in to see how I'm progressing. So without further ado, let's take a look at this week's data. Okay, so there is some further ado, and that is for you to go and give this video a like, and if you haven't already, why not go and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, I don't ask very often, but go ahead and stick notifications on, because then you'll see as soon as I upload a new video, and given that my schedule for uploading is not exactly set in stone, it might help you get hold of the latest video quicker. All these nice YouTube things help me keep going, and hopefully you'll enjoy what you see. Well, most of it. Okay, some of it. Maybe. Okay, let's kick things off with goal tracking, and let's just show you how I stood last week on the progress. And as you can see, there's a little bit of progress in all the short-term goals, but I had actually completed my cycling short-term goal, which was to do a 30-kilometre ride. And this slide shows how I think I stand this week. As you can see, I've bumped my injury progress up a little bit. I've moved it up to 75%. And that's because I've basically managed to do quite a lot of exercise this week, and touch wood, I haven't had any problems with my injury. So I've put it on 75%, and to be quite honest with you, if I get through the coming week with the same or even less trouble, I mean, I don't think I can have less trouble, because I literally have had no trouble at all, then I'm going to consider it 100% complete. I've bumped myself up to 83% on the none-to-run program completion. That's because I have completed week 10 of 12, so I've only got 2 weeks left. Week 11 I'm hoping to get done in one run, so I'm going to do the first run of week 11 probably on Sunday, and if I find that comfortable, I'm going to go straight on to week 12. But whatever happens in week 12, I'm going to do all 3 runs in week 12, and I'm not going to consider this goal completed until I've done 3 25-minute continuous runs. So hopefully not next week, but the week after, we'll call it 100% complete. Fingers crossed. I have, however, managed another cycling goal, short-term cycling goal, which I hinted at in my midweek catch-up vlog, which hopefully you've watched by now, and that is to complete a ride with at least 300 metres of climbing. I did the whole lot of lava route on Watopia twice, which is about 160 odd, 170 metres of climbing. So I managed just over 3, I can't remember exact numbers. I'll put the Zwift end screen up if I haven't already to show you what I've managed, but it was definitely over 300 metres, and it was more like 330 metres, something like that. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed it, found it relatively comfortable, and yeah, glad I did it. So it now means I need to think of another short-term cycling goal, and maybe I'm making them a bit too easy, so I kind of ummed and ahed about what to do. I was thinking actually to make it to do an FTP test, but I thought that was definitely too easy, mainly because I did it yesterday. So what I'm going to do is to set it to be to complete a set Zwift training program. Now, I haven't found one yet which I want to do. I haven't really looked, to be honest, but I'm looking to find a 3 or 4 week training program which has 3 or 4 rides in per week, and it's not going to be, and the rides are not going to be too long, sort of less than, well, around about an hour. If there's some slightly over, that's fine. If there's some slightly under, that's also fine. But certainly no more than sort of an hour and a half on any of the rides. That would be good. So if you've got any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Otherwise, I'll have a look probably tomorrow, which is when my next Zwift ride is probably going to be. So let's move on to what NutriCheck says. As you remember, that's the app I use to track my calories in and calories out. And yeah, it started off, better than last week, but still not great. I obviously had a takeaway on Friday, which put my calories up to nearly 3,000 for the day, but it was nowhere near the nearly 4,000 that I had the previous Friday. Now, for the rest of the weekend and into Monday, I was still over my calories for each day, but that was mainly due to alcohol, in particular beers. Saturday night and Sunday night, I had sort of impromptu beers, if you like. In that Saturday, I basically decided I wanted a few beers, and went and got a couple of beer cans of beer. Had a couple on Saturday night, and then a couple again on Sunday night, and that just nudged me over the calories for those days. On Monday, as I mentioned in my vlog, we went to some friends, and I had some more beers. But this time I'd kind of planned for them, so I had reduced my calories, but I had actually more beers than I had on Saturday or Sunday. So it still put me over, but it would have been a lot more if I'd eaten what I would normally eat on a Monday. I was also still running at a significant calorie deficit because I had done quite a lot of exercise on the weekend and Monday. So even with those extra calories, if you take into account the calories I got back from exercise, I was significantly under my daily calorie allowance. The rest of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were absolutely fine food wise, all under calories, even without considering exercise. So the exercise was basically a bonus. So I essentially had a massive calorie deficit for those days, which basically got me back on track for the rest of the week, as it tends to always do. So on to my weigh-in for the week, and it's the age-old tale of overweight person versus some scary scales in the corner of the bathroom. So let's take a look how the battle went this week. So today's weight was 15 stone, 11.6 pounds, or 100.6 kilos. And that is a loss of 1.6 pounds, or about 600 grams, basically, which I'm very, very happy with. It's not quite as much as I managed last week, but it's still above £1. I still think around 1 to 2 pounds per week is a sensible weight to lose, and should be maintainable in the long term, hopefully. And what it does is put my whole loss for the quest up to 20.5 kilos, or 3 stone and 3.4 pounds. This gives me a significant buffer under the 16 stone mark, but this is no time to be complacent, because basically I want to get under the 100 kilogram mark, and to do that I need a loss next week of 700 grams or greater, which is slightly more than this week, but not as much as the week before. So hopefully I can do that next week. It's going to be a challenge though, because as I mentioned in my catch-up vlog, next week I'm going into my new old office for the first time. So I need to resist the temptation of beers with new and old colleagues and eating out in restaurants instead of eating sensibly back at my hotel. Also, doing exercise is going to be a little bit more challenging while I'm in the office, but I've got some ideas for that. I don't want to make any commitments, as I've already said, but I'm really hoping that if my plans pay off, they're going to be quite interesting to watch and quite fun for me to do, and just a good way of sort of revisiting some old stomping grounds, if you like. So make sure you join me next week for that and see how I get on. Hopefully have a fair bit more time to film next week while I'm away, at least, because I'll be on my own, and I'll probably get out for a few walks at the very, very least, and do some filming. So at the very least there'll be things to show, because I'm quite just looking forward to showing off where I work. Obviously I won't be able to film too much because it's a sensitive area, but it'd be interesting. That said, editing might be a challenge, especially uploading, because although I'm taking my editing laptop with me, I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have and how easy it's going to be to edit without my multiple screen setup and all that kind of stuff that makes things just that little bit easier and faster. But I'll do my best. At the worst case, my midweek vlog might end up being up like next weekend, like after my results show. But we'll see how it goes. I might also do it in smaller chunks, maybe just two days at a time, something like that. We'll see. Not sure yet. In any case, I have got a video in production which will hopefully go up in my absence next week, so you won't be left without any video at all midweek. But that's all from me for week 4. Feel free to drop me a comment and let me know how your week has been, and if you're on a journey like mine, let me know what progress you've made this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that YouTube goodness. Have a good weekend, and I will hopefully see you back here next week.